I didn't love Porky and Teabiscuit, but I didn't mind it either. This is the 1939 Warner Brothers cartoon directed by Dalton and Ben Hardaway and written by Melvin Miller. And we have Mel Blanc voicing Porky Pig and Pinto Colvig doing the voice of Teabiscuit, who is a horse. And it starts off quite peculiarly, actually, because it starts off on a farm. And Porky Pig is riding a hobby horse, and he's kind of childlike, and I thought he was a child. And then his father, presumably his father, comes out and tells him to go off and do something. And then Porky Pig, gets behind the wheel of a car and drives. And I just thought, hang on, I thought you were a child character and now you're driving a car. So I feel like that didn't work very well. But after that point, it wasn't too bad. He accidentally, and it was an accident, bought a horse. But this is an old horse that clearly doesn't have a race left in him. But Porky realizes he's spent the money he was meant to take back home on this horse. So the horse, he enters the horse into a race to try and make back the money. But whether or not Teabiscuit is even up for starting the race, never mind completing it, you'll find out when you watch it. But I honestly, once the race happened, it was not too bad, but I didn't love it. I feel like the scenes in between him getting in the car and buying the horse were my favourite, and they lasted probably less than a minute. It was well animated, absolutely no question there. The voice acting was absolutely fine. The design of the horse I quite liked. I definitely got the sense that Teabiscuit was old and weary and not really up for this anymore, but I definitely got the sense that Porky had a lot of anxiety over what he'd accidentally done and definitely needed to find a way of recouping that money. So the motivation was definitely clear, the narrative made a lot of sense, and I really rather enjoyed that aspect of it. I just feel like it was a little bit rough around the edges. It wasn't as well polished as a lot of other cartoons, and it just, as I said, Porky Pig acting, I mean, not that an adult can't ride a hobby horse, but obviously when a character is doing something that's typically considered childlike, there is the general impression that you're trying to convey the age of the child, or the character, and then he drives a car, and I was so confused. So, it's not perfect, it needs a bit of work, but it's not terrible. It's not my favourite Porky Pig cartoon, nowhere near. But having said that, if you're a fan of Porky Pig, I think you'll like him in this. He's his usual sweet, endearing self. Porky and Teabiscuit is not a personal favourite, but it's not terrible.